Right guys, welcome back to the channel and to the garden. Today's video we are just going to be taking a look at sort of the top bed here, panning across to here. And what we'll do is go a bit more in depth on some of the plants. You may have heard from our recent video, kind of put out a question of, whether we should be breaking down our garden tours into sort of longer, shorter videos, things like that. So we're going to just try this one out today. Again, just going to take a look at this top bed. What we will do in the following days is to take a look at that sort of mini golf course and the arid bed. We'll also do one on the back border that has some of what I call the big leaf border, and then we'll finally do one in the jungle area of the garden, or sort of proposed jungle area. So stay tuned as we go through and take a look at some of these plants. I'll try and keep it on the shorter side today, but just show you some of the more notables that have come out since the last video here. So just starting off here, guys, we've got the Ragusa rose, which again has been putting out lovely growth. Unfortunately, we do have a bit of an infestation on it, which I'm going to need to address at some point soon. Coming down here, we've got the Trachycarpus Princeps hybrid, putting out a new leaf, as you can see. Lovely glaucous blue underneath on that one. It does look like we're getting a slight bit more trunk wise, and the base is starting to sort of fatten up a bit, if you will. What you can see here, guys, unfortunately, it does look like we're getting a little bit of the basal lift on it, so I have been kind of backfilling with this gravel just to kind of keep the roots from being completely exposed. Again, the rhododendron purple pillow has sort of come out of flower now. You can see the Musabastu bananas that we overwintered have been putting out some reasonable sized new leaves. This one is probably at sort of 3.5 foot now, and we did save the trunk over winter from about here. So again, it has put on some decent growth that you can see here. One of the pups is doing well, and it does appear, if you look just here, we've got another little pup coming off the base. So quite happy to see this, well, happy in its spot there. The Diropterus Felix Mass fern just down here is starting to come out nicely, just alongside this one here, which is a little bit ahead. You can see the Clematis has come out lovely on the top bit here. Lovely flowers, and it's just a bit of interest, I think, coming down the fence. I think the eventual plan is to kind of trail all the way down towards the house and all the way down there as well. Next to that, you can see on top, this is our hops plant, and we'll come around and take a look. Lovely sort of leaves on these, and of course you do get rewarded with those hops cones towards the later half of the year. Just down here, the yucca is doing quite well, and you can just see from the ground, it has been very, very dry for the past few months. So I have, even though I'm out sort of watering nearly every day, certainly every day for the tree ferns, it is drying up very quick, and just hoping over the next couple weeks we may get some sort of rain. The Brunnera sizing up nicely, getting some good sized leaves on these now. Do a few varieties in the garden, and it does appear it is coming to the end of its flowers now. And I love the kind of mini blue flowers that you do get on these. Very, very pretty plant. Next to that, Trachycarpus palm does look to be appearing to putting out quite a few new spears. Does look like, again, you can see on the tips of this here, it looks like we've had a little bit of winter damage. Also, I think the kind of reduced amount of water this spring hasn't really helped. They do still enjoy a fair bit of watering in, especially if you've got a new palm. I would certainly recommend at least watering well for the first year. Just down here, you can see the blazing star. That's coming up nicely again. And of course, the ferns we've got here do fill in very nicely. Before we kind of move on down, just pan up here, you can see the Dixonia antarctica tree fern in the middle. Lovely new flush on that. Still opening up, so I expect the fronds to size up a fair bit more, but I think this is about what we're going to get. And comparing them to last year's fronds, we're just at about the size of them now. These are much wider than they were last year as well. So again, this one's been getting loads and loads of water this spring, and even throughout the winter. Just down here, you can see the other azalea we have coming out. This has come out lovely in the sort of white flowers. Starting to die off a bit. Again, I wanted to kind of get a video out soon on these, as the kind of flowers on these last for a few weeks, but once again, it is a seasonal thing, and it's coming to end of its flowering season here. Yucca doing well. Does look like we may get a couple flower spikes out of this one. This one usually puts out sort of 3 to 4 each year. Just into the center here, and we'll come around. The Bengal, so your Musa sycamensis. First sort of leaf that's come out with the lovely striations that you do get on these, and these are much, I find, thinner leaf than paddle than you do get than the Musa bastu. And again, on the underside, lovely kind of colors on that. And that's kind of one of the traits of this plant. Down next to it, and apologies on the weeds, you can see we do have a few sort of pups coming up as well, and I think this one has 4. I guess one thing to point out as well, just kind of in the middle here, you know, I think when we look at gardens online, you know, I certainly follow and take a look at a lot of people's gardens as well. You know, sometimes we may see them all pristine and nice. I think the reality of gardening for most of us is, you know, kind of balancing life and the rest of it around it. So, you know, we are going to have weeds here. We're going to have things around, and I think don't feel upset when you look at, you know, garden. It might look a bit overgrown. I think just appreciate that the plants are, you know, enjoying what they're doing. But yeah, just with that setup, of course, I'm going to get around to tackling that at some point. Ramos humilis, triple trunk, which we'll take a look at in a second. On the other side, so you can see those trunks. You can see underneath of the leaves, and it's a little bit hard to pick up on camera, but a very kind of silvery blue. Really kind of nice colors this time of year as well. We'll come around here to show you these trunks. And you may see just off the side here, we are still waiting on the rebuild part 2 of this. I still need to kind of tackle this whole backside and get that put together. So certainly if you haven't caught the build part 1, check that out. Underneath here you can see all the lovely flowers that have come out on the palms. So this is the Ramos humilis again. This is the triple trunk one. And you can see it has started even growing the pups through the center, which I do need to trim out. Even the smallest trunk, which is around about sort of maybe a foot, has been flowering for a number of years now. So yeah, great to see this out, and it does bring a nice color pop and adds to that one. Just as we come this way, this was the build so far, guys, that we have changed. You can see we've got almost like a little bit of a cave kind of style there now, which I do quite like. You can see that nicely off the house when you come in. This is one of my more intricate builds on the waterfalls, and again, still rebuilding this here. Sedums around it, coming out nicely. Again, I've tried to save these ones on top when we did kind of remove this to do work. We've got the Aeonium Schwarzkopf here, which was a cutting from our mother plant that's in the arid part of the garden. Down here you can see all the sedums and weeds, fortunately. But yeah, this fills in nicely and should be flowering sort of in the next month or 2, which is always nice to see. Just panning in here, you can just see, and we'll come around the front to take a look at it, our pink rhododendron. Lovely flowers on this every year. And I'll just come around to show you, as this is a double plant. It's 2 varieties as well. One's more of a ruby red, which you can now just see here with the bee loving it and kind of flying around and trying to find more nectar. So certainly one's here, and you can see the different colors from these two. This is the more ruby red, which comes out slightly later in the year. I love these kind of flowers that it puts out here. Just down next to that, the ferns, this is your Japanese painted fern, just down here with the bee coming very close to me there, is doing fairly well. It is a bit dry, and I do need to get on top of watering that one a bit more just to get that to fill in. You may see this, guys. This is just your common poppy. I do let these come up. They self-seed around the garden. Generally let them go to flower and then pull them before the seeds are ready to pop. Again, trying to manage that a little bit here. In the center, all this mess is our sort of spring bulbs, which does, as soon as it dies back down, I then trim that all back, and I let all that energy go back into the plants for next year. Some snapdragons that's actually made it through winter. So these ones were under the cover next to the waggy here. So this is your waggy princeps cross. Have come back out. Lovely flowers on these again. One interesting one to show you here. It does look like we did get some winter damage. And you can just see where it's all browned here. It is pushing out green from below, you know, so I think we just had this one leaf really take it. But was quite surprised. Again, I've had a couple palms now show very late signs of damage in the year, which we'll show you kind of as we go around on the later tours here. The Trachycarpus palm here, again, has started to put out some of its flower spikes. The one in the middle, just off the back, which will show you towards the end, has kind of the best flowers that we have so far. Hostas, Perennial comes back every year. I've somehow managed not to be completely destroyed by slugs, but so far so good. Just down there you can just see the bottom half of that water feature there. Got the pond irises in the middle here, just following back again to the tree fern that we've got there. That kind of big mess in the middle, again, this is probably going to come out, trying to think of something to do with it. This is a common bamboo grass, almost like a kind of medium-sized version of a pampas grass. Anybody who watches, if you're local to me and you'd be interested in that, you're more than welcome to it. So fire me a message and let me know. Down here, one that's now kind of into its one end, you can see is getting attacked here, is the Solomon seal, and this is coming towards the end here. But I do love the lovely undersides you get on these leaves, and again, it's just another interesting plant in the way that it kind of does its flowers underneath. Something different and unique. These are all, excuse me, again, perennials that come up from the ground each year and provide us that kind of spring layering. Just as we come down here, the cordyline that is in here, you can see if this is the dripper line that I've not kind of hid away just yet. Again, lots of jobs around the garden. You can see this has got some very short leaves. It did take some winter damage. I find with most of my cordylines, the first year I always get some browning. You know, first year, winter, after winter, always get some browning on these. Just coming down this way now, hardy fuchsias are coming back up, and they start putting their flowers out over the next few months, again adding that kind of more summer layering. And you can see the hops now from this angle, and again just show you kind of size of these leaves here, fairly good size. And it's interesting, this whole plant is almost like got serrated bits on it, and that helps it to climb and grow. So it's, you know, very interesting. You can just kind of pull and stick it somewhere and it stays. But again, one of the jobs I do need to do, of course, is to keep running this all the way down, as this one can grow nearly a foot a day in peak season. So you can really get some tremendous growth out of these here as well. Down here, celebration roses just starting to put out some of the flower buds, which is always nice to see. One of the few roses that I do keep in the garden here. Up to that, the yucca has started to put out a lovely flower spike. Now this one, this was a rescue. It was literally a bare trunk when I put it in the ground a couple of years ago. It's always struggled a bit, but as you can see, it is starting to put out its flower. Now once on the yuccas, once it flowers, this head will die off eventually, and then it will sprout a new head from there, which is kind of how you get your trunks that go all over the place. Next to this, definitely wanted to show you guys, is the purple rhododendron. Not all into flower yet, but it is putting out some nice flowers so far, and you can see again the bees love this plant. You know, I find you know, it's certainly worth mentioning that you know, I think there may be some sort of misunderstanding that if you're growing tropical plants, you know, you've not really got diversity in your you know, biodiversity, let's say, and you know, a healthy kind of bugs and stuff for the garden. But I can certainly attest, you know, pretty much majority of the plants that we grow in the tropical space will flower at some point. So in reality, I find I've actually probably got more flowers than many other gardens. Brunnera, again, lovely leaves. Now this is one of the ones, I want to say this is a Jack Frost perhaps. I can never remember the varieties on these, I do apologize. I love the pattern on this leaf. It's such a nice contrast up to the other plants. Blue fern, nothing to report on it yet. It hasn't really done much. It is still solid. I'm not getting any kind of, you know, rot or anything on there. I think it just may be one that really needs the temperature consistent during the night as well as the day to you know, really kind of start get going. Underneath here we've just got the lavenders, some of the more common Diropterus ferns. You've got, and again I've got so many different varieties I can never remember which, but you've got some really cool kind of leaves when they come out, and I just love that kind of, you know, style of the different ferns as they open and uncurl. Little Trachycarpus palm here, done very well. It is putting out some huge new leaf fronds, so I'll be interested to see when this really starts to get going. This one does have a slight blue tinge to the underside, but again, I'm not expecting anything like the Princeps. Down here, we've got another patch of the yuccas. Now this was cut from the mother plant, trying not to spin you around too quickly here, and I just put a head in the ground and it's already started to divide and kind of go crazy. Little small patch of hostas just down in there, a little variegated type. Again, I can never remember exactly which the varieties are on this one. Next to that, we've got our triple head cordyline. Sorry, this is not triple, this is a 5-head cordyline. So I'm kind of interested to see this one come out. This is one plant, it died back 2 years ago and has sprouted from the base. I think we may just get the startings of a trunk this year. Couple, again, more common ferns just next to the Trachycarpus that is in flower. And you can see lovely, beautiful flowers on these. You know, really kind of nice contrast again around the garden, and as well as that, quite a few new leaves that have come out in stunning shape as well. So you know, I'm really happy that when these start to get going, and you can see just in the center there, we've got about 4 new fronds on the way as well. So I think I'll be able to slowly start trimming back some of the sort of winter tip damage and things, and let the new fronds come out. Down here again, Brunnera, very nice sized leaves again. You know, it's just a very pretty plant. I'd highly recommend. You know, this is a companion plant in the garden next to your tropicals. Down here, this was the Yucca Jewel. And as you can see, loads sprouting from the base, but it is unfortunate that we did lose the head on that. But it does attest, you know, this saw a -6C. These are only really down to a -2C, and this had very limited protection, literally a bucket placed over the top of it during the winter. So just to test that, you know, they may be a little bit more hardy than, you know, we put on the cards for them. Next to that, Xanthodecia, beautiful. Come out. Lovely sized leaves. You know, it's really nice plant that again, I think goes really well in any tropical garden. Now bear in mind, guys, these are poisonous plants, so just keep that in mind, and that's if you cut them, the sap and things like that can be really quite nasty. Some nice flowers about to come out, which you can see it does look like we have about 8 to 10, so we'll certainly give you an update when those do flower as well. And just looking back into the center here, you can see the Pieris has sort of gone again back to more of that goldy color now, and it'll be the new leaves. When it does start flushing again, we'll get that brilliant red that does come out of those. But with that said, guys, hopefully that gives you a little bit more of an in-depth look at our sort of top bed off the front of the house here, and you know, just a bit more in depth. Just down here, oh, one I didn't mention, we've got the Lismachia or creeping Jenny. This does really kind of put down a really nice kind of ground cover and spreads really quickly. You can see just under here, it's kind of created a little bit of a kind of carpet around the bottom here. But yeah, guys, with that said, I just wanted to kind of give you that small update today. If you are already not already subscribed to the channel, certainly feel free to do so. Join our amazing community. One thing just to mention at the end for anyone who's still watching, you know, we do kind of everything from the sort of Audi S5 content on the channel, which is a bit older now. No new content on that one yet, so if you are a bit of a petrol head into your motors, that one is the manual V8 version. They just don't make manuals and V8s like they used to. We've also got the mini golf content. So if you're interested in that, you can see the process of building a mini golf course, as well as we have done some trick shot videos on that as well, for entertainment for anyone who's interested. And of course, we are doing things like the pond building, unboxing and reviews of some of the kit, as well as just general updates, garden how-tos, and sort of general information about plants. Right, trying to keep this not too long now, which I have realized how long it is now. Do apologize, but if you're still with me, of course, guys, thanks you for watching. As always, if you haven't checked out the friends of the channel, they will be pinned in the comment section below, as well as, you know, if you haven't checked out some of the guys, I put out some new updates as well, so I'd certainly check them out. Check out Eddie's Tropicals, guys. Sorry, Woolly Tropicals. Eddie over there is doing a great seed grow along series, so that, you know, if you are interested in that side of things, I don't typically do much from seed, which I've been watching his series very interesting for me. You know, there's an area I would like to get into as well, so if you haven't checked that out, certainly go check that series out. I know he's putting them out quite regularly, so you know, keep you interested on that side. On the New York tropical side, he has done a recent update, and it's always great to see Tim's garden on that side, so certainly check him out. My Tropical Garden UK has also done some updates recently in garden tours, as well as the other channels on the other channels in the comments as well. I'm just trying to think who else has put out some stuff recently. Guys, if I haven't mentioned and you have put something out, drop a link of what you put out recently in my comments section, just so the viewers, if they're interested, can check that out for you as well. But with that said, guys, of course, yes, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.